As we've mentioned, today is a special Sunday in the life of Highlands United Methodist Church, where we celebrate the many ways that you all are in mission and ministry to not only this community but to the world. And so we have some voices, some of you all that are going to share about that with us this morning. So to start us out, I'm going to invite Tricia to come up and share with us about the Joy Group.
I'm Tricia Smith. Excuse me. I'm the coordinator of the Joy Group. Joy stands for Just Older Youth. We started May 2nd of last year with 6 members. Now we average 18 to 24. Past events include a trip to Franklin. We went to Mi Casa Mexican, Walmart, and to see a movie. Recently, we went to Clayton. We went to the Dillard House, the Tallulah Gorge overlook, and to Goats on a Roof. We had goat milk ice cream, which was fabulous, and we stopped by Osage Farms. Some of our future events include a trip to Atlanta to the Historical Center, Oakland Cemetery, the Atlanta Zoo, and if you haven't picked up on it, we'd love to eat. We'll stop at Mary Mac's. In November, we'll have a repeat trip to Big Bethel AME Church to see the play Heaven Bound. We plan to go to Clayton. This is a request of Pastor Randy. We're going to the farmer's market and then have a catfish dinner. Leah Lyons will be sharing some of her stories. We're going to have a diabetes screening. We're having a program on road safety, and the kids from music camp will come and share some of their music. We plan to go to Lake Junaluska to see the Methodist Museum, and Edna Bryson and Catherine Taylor will share some of their stories of their childhood. And at Christmas, we plan to go to Asheville to build more. So come join us. We are age 60 to 92. We meet on Mondays and Thursdays from 11:30 to 1:30. We share a meal prepared by our own Ann Rose. We share our joys and concerns, our prayer requests. We have door prizes. We meet with old friends and develop new friendships. And this is not a Methodist ministry. This is an entire community ministry. Most importantly, we share God's love.
Thank you so much, Tricia. And it is a joy every Monday and Thursday just to hear the voices that come down the hall and in the fellowship hall. And I've seen them play noodle ball and all kinds of stuff. So they have a great time. And thank you for that ministry and organizing that ministry. At this time, you get to hear from one of our youth, John Murphy. He graduated from Highlands School in May and is going to attend Appalachian State in the fall. And he is going into religious studies. So go, John.
So as Richard said, the youth, we just came back from M25. Richard also told me to say how great he was, but so M25s is a youth ministry camp that helps with homeless ministry, and I'm sure you're thinking all we did was make a lot of food and hand it out. Well, we did make food and we did hand it out, but that wasn't why we went. Believe it or not, you can find Jesus by playing Jenga. Sitting and talking to some of these people, hearing their stories, hearing how they got where they are, and hearing where they want to go. I mean, odds are they don't get to talk to people that often. I mean, they probably have a conversation once every 2 weeks maybe. So to sit down and actually talk with someone and just to hear how much they care, and then to have them tell you about their faith is something else. I mean, we're all blessed that we have homes and a church to come to. Well, they don't have homes, but yet they still find church, whether that's in a church or just having faith. It's there. So that's M25. Youth as a whole, we do a lot more ministries. I know Richard's working on getting us to start doing some fundraisers to help charities for water. So that'll be in the works, and then old Jeannie will take away with my favorite part. So
Thank you, John. Gabe, a few years ago when we were down there with a group of youth, he looked at the youth that were there and he said, "I hope your heart breaks today." And it was part of what I used in the prayer for today. He said, because if your heart doesn't break, change never happens. So we're thankful for that ministry that Gabe leads down there, and we're thankful that all the youth give weeks out of their summer to go and serve others. I mean, that's incredible to me. So thank you, Richard, for leading them last week. All right, Jeannie.
I wrote it all down, but maybe I can remember it. Okay. I was asked to speak about our Haiti mission trips, and this morning I didn't realize that Malachi, one of our Haitian friends, was here, so there was no pressure whatsoever in the 909 to get it all right, but I think I did good. So I'm going to share the story with you guys. Jane Chalker went with us, and as I boarded the bus, I asked Miss Jane, I said, "How many times have you been to Haiti?" And it was short and delivered with a smile. She said, "I've been 50 times. And I went, what crazy lady in their right mind would travel to Haiti 50 times? That's just too many. Well, as our plane was touching down in Port-au-Prince, I saw all these beautiful white houses, and I thought, this is nothing like I imagined. They don't need us here. Look how beautiful this is. As our plane got closer and closer, I realized those were not beautiful houses. That was what was left of concrete slums that they lived in. It was tarps that were brought up and tin roofs. It was exactly what I imagined. It was heartbreaking. I thought that I had made a major mistake, and I had a sense of dread. But that dread soon disappeared as we traveled the long road up Route 3 to Conge. I saw it, my very first little naked Haitian baby. He was so cute, and he was standing on by a roadside stream playing with about 10 to 15 other children, all under the age of 12. And as a mom, my heart broke because some of these children were the same age as my small human, and they were seemingly by themselves. I would later realize that they were not by themselves. I'm sure there was a neighbor or someone in the village that was looking after them, because no one in Haiti is by themselves. Everyone is welcome in everyone's home, and it gave a whole new meaning to It Takes a Village. While we were in Haiti, we did visits to the shut-ins. We met a man that was missing half of his foot. We met a blind woman, and these people walked miles every time the church doors were open just to worship with each other. We also met a gentleman, a boy, I would say, probably about 24. He was mangled by the earthquake. He was laying in a dirt floor shed, eating out of metal bowls. He couldn't even sit up. The village takes care of him and does the best they can. On those visits, my guide was Mary Mott. And to me, Mary Mott is my Haiti. She was a woman that was full of life and so anxious to serve her people. We packed bags of food. She did it with a smile. She went with us to the market to get the biggest bang for our buck. She did it with a smile. And when we found out we had more money that we didn't spend in the market, she danced with joy because she could help more people for longer. Let's talk about those bags of food. We filled gallon Ziploc bags with 1.5 coffee cans of rice, a small bag of pasta, a small bag of beans, 2 tiny smoked herring, a thing of oil, tiny, some salt, and a bar of laundry soap. That fed a family in Haiti for a month. I just want you to let that sink in. For a month. It's this big. I don't know if me and my small human can survive off of that for a week. While in Haiti, Mary Mott and I had very little words in common. I spoke no Haitian, she spoke no English, but we learned each other's stories. I learned of her and her 6 children, and she learned of me. And while there, I got the opportunity to help paint a mural in their church. And Mary Mott comes to me and she says, I want to do too. I promised her that day that as quick as I could, I would come back with paint and brushes and canvas, and I would teach her what I know. And I don't break promises if I can help it. I'm going to be going back in September, And this time, my mission is to bring joy to the children and women of Conj and hopefully teach them a valuable skill so they can give back to their community and help support their families. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I am not going to change Haiti, but Haiti has changed me. And 50 times will never be enough.
Thank you. Thank each of you for sharing your stories and just a glimpse of the many ways that we can be the hands and feet of Christ in this world. I mentioned earlier, and many of you know, I've been down at Emory in Atlanta taking my summer courses at course of study school there at Candler. And one of the great things about being there is we have an opportunity to worship each and every day. And there is a third-year seminary student who led worship one day by the name of Tavares Stevens, and he used this poem called We Can Be as part of his sermon on the day that he led worship. And I asked him permission to use it today because as I sat there and listened to his words, I thought about this day. I thought about the day that we celebrate ministry and mission in the life of this church and in this community, and I want to share that poem with you right now. Being is becoming what we choose, and choosing is becoming what we are. What we are is the darkest or the brightest conception we think of ourselves, when in silence and alone we realize that we can be what we choose to be. We can be truth seekers, we can be dream makers, we can be the rainbow and the treasure of gold molded into one thought. We can be freedom, we can be hope, we can be silence, we can be sound, we can be the song of redemption turning this world into hallowed ground. We can be hearts, we can be minds, we can be seekers who seek, we can be searchers who find. And the doors will be opened as we knock and enter in. We become a prophetic word written in life's pages by a divine pen. We can build nations. We can build worlds. We can be the voice of truth, liberating every man, woman, boy, and girl. For we can be what we choose to be. We can be. We can be what we choose to be. We can be healers and teachers and keepers of light, growing new things which we take flight. We who once walked as foolish will walk the ways of the wise, being resurrected. Every word spoken will carry the power of the divine, for we can be what we choose to be. We can be life's reward from death as the kingdoms of injustice and destruction shatter. And the reign and the peace and the love of all the nations will be the only thing that matters. For we can be the calming breeze, or we can be the raging storm. We can be a touch that feels, or we can be a hand that harms. We can be the voice that soothes, or we can be the sound of hope. We can be songs of triumph born out of broken notes. We can be jaded or scattered, or we can be lost in the wind. We can be guiding lights, renewing life above foe and friend. We can be life that perishes, or we can be hope reborn. We can even be the love and the wisdom of God, walking this earth in human form. For being is becoming what we choose. Choosing is becoming what we are. We were molded and sculpted in light, just as a bright morning star. If we could simply see ourselves in our own true sacred form, then the end of all madness would begin as heaven on earth would be reborn. For we can be what we choose to be. We can be. By the power and the grace that lives inside us, we can move through so many things. We can overcome because God has taken us and changed our lives, and that's why we have to tell the world who we are. We can be because he saw fit to set us free. The love is born inside us. Hate is redeemed. We can walk in victory. We can walk in power. Gracious God, we thank you. We praise you. We give God the glory. You've taken us, you've molded us and shaped us, and you've told us that we are your children. We are your salt. We are your light. That's why we know we can be. Yes, we can be. And so today I thank you for who you are. I thank you for who you are as a church to one another, who you are to this community, and who you are to this world. And I give thanks. And I hope that you've gotten a glimpse of that today. Thanks be to God.